Om Namah Shivaya. Greetings from the Shivananda Yoga Vedanta Meenakshi Ashram in Tamil Nadu. And we're here today to show some adaptations that could be made to the single and double leg raises in certain situations, perhaps after having a baby, perhaps after having abdominal surgery, or after having a hernia. Now, of course, you want to check with your doctor first, make sure it's okay to begin practice, but I'll show you a few ways that we can work slowly, diligently, to building that abdominal strength once again, and to not triggering an incisional hernia, which is the case for some perhaps after surgery. So let's show some ways we can adapt. So the regular single and double leg raises, we lie on the back, and we can adapt by bending one knee, raising the other leg up, and lowering it down, repeating a few times on each side. And then changing the legs. And in general, as you practice, be aware of keeping the lower back pressing into the floor. Don't allow an arching in the lower back. Now for the double leg raises, we can bend the knees, and in a general sense, keep the knees bent, lowering down and up according to the comfort level. So just going slightly down, slightly up. The other thing that could be done is to straighten the legs and repeat the same thing, just coming down slightly and back up slightly. So there's no need to come all the way down, but you're keeping the lower back pressed into the floor, which requires a little bit of tilting of the pelvis. Now another exercise that's quite effective is to keep the knees bent into the chest and then reach one leg out at about 45 degrees and bring it back in again. Same thing on the other side. Good. And so if you're starting to feel strong, you'll work with the breath a little bit here. Inhaling, reaching out, exhaling back in again. And if you're ready to come with both legs, there are two ways to do that. One is to inhale, reaching out on one side, out on the other side, then exhale back in on the first side, back in on the second side. So inhaling out and exhaling back in again, keeping the lower back flat on the floor. And if you're feeling quite strong, both legs can come out, inhaling, and then exhaling, pulling back in again. Another exercise that we can do is to square off the legs. So the feet are quite relaxed here, the knees are above the hips, and I'm just going to stay here for some time. It looks like not much is happening actually, but it's quite effective. If I want to increase the intensity, I push the feet a little bit further away, and I feel that you're using the abdominal muscles here. If you want to make it easier, bring the knees back in a little bit. So some time can be spent here breathing. And then the last exercise from the back, which will be quite helpful, is to twist. So I'm stretching the arms out. I'm going to drop both knees to one side, looking over to the other side, and breathing here for some time. And then switching sides, looking over the opposite shoulder, breathing. And back to center. And I'll come up to the mat and show you another couple of things that can be done. We can turn over onto the hands and knees on the mat and squaring everything off. So the shoulders will be above the hands and the hips above the knees. And then I want to imagine I'm stretching the whole length of the spine from the tailbone out through the crown of the head into a straight, long line. So imagine the neck getting longer. The lower back in particular is very flat. And you'll feel, if you're doing it just right, that you're using the abdominal muscles. And then just relaxing for a moment, let the back arch. And then again, finding a really straight spine from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. And once we can maintain that straightness, then you can experiment with raising one leg up, keeping that straight back, raising the opposite arm up, keeping the straight back, coming back down again, repeating the same on the other side. Good. So I hope these exercises help you to get strong and to enjoy your practice, knowing that you can repeat them many times. In general, the success comes when we keep repeating. So I wish you the best of luck in your practice. Om Namah Shivaya.